American Mary is a 2012 Canadian body horror film directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska, also known as the Twisted Twins. This film tells the story of Mary Mason, played by Katharine Isabelle, a medical student who becomes disillusioned with her profession and takes a job as a surgeon at an underground club for extreme body modification. As Mary delves deeper into the world of surgical manipulation, she becomes increasingly unhinged and begins to question her own identity. The movie begins with Mary performing surgery on a turkey in her kitchen, showcasing her skill and dedication to her craft. However, she is struggling to make ends meet and applies for a job at a gentleman's club. The job interview takes an unexpected turn when Mary is taken to an underground room and presented with a man who has been tortured. She is asked to save his life for $5,000, which she does, but is left shaken and disgusted by the experience. Despite this, she is approached by Beatrice Johnson, a dancer at the club, who offers her $10,000 to perform surgery on a friend who wants to be transformed into a human doll. Mary is initially hesitant, but her desperation for money and the promise of an extra $2,000 just for showing up at the veterinary clinic convinces her to take on the job. She performs the surgery, which involves removing certain body parts. This unusual request raises concerns about Mary's judgment and morality, but she is able to justify it to herself as a one-time exception. As Mary continues to work at the club, she becomes increasingly involved in the underground world of body modification. She begins to perform surgeries on a variety of clients, including twins who want to have their left arms exchanged and horns implanted in their foreheads. Along the way, she also kidnaps her former teacher and mentor, Dr. Alan Grant, who had drugged and assaulted her at a party. Mary performs a series of involuntary body modifications on Dr. Grant, including splitting his tongue, altering his genitals, amputating his limbs, and suturing his mouth closed. This act of revenge is a turning point for Mary, as she becomes increasingly alienated from society and begins to see herself as a vigilante who can impose her own brand of justice. As Mary's reputation grows as a surgeon of great skill, she becomes more brazen and reckless in her actions. She kills the security guard who discovers her tormenting Dr. Grant and begins to evade the police as they investigate the disappearance of Dr. Grant. Beatrice also vanishes, but Mary later receives a phone call from her as she is returning home. Beatrice reveals that she has been brutally stabbed by Ruby's husband, who is seeking revenge against Mary for transforming his wife. Mary kills Ruby's husband in self-defense, but dies from internal bleeding after suturing her own wound. Her corpse is found by the detective and police with a satisfied smile on her face. The film ends with a sense of ambiguity and unease, as the audience is left to wonder whether Mary's actions were justified or whether she was simply consumed by her own darkness. Overall, American Mary is a thought-provoking and unsettling film that challenges viewers to confront their own moral boundaries. It is a story about the dangers of objectification and exploitation, as well as the consequences of seeking revenge and power through violence. The making of American Mary was a unique and unconventional experience for its star, Katharine Isabelle. Isabelle was intrigued by the unusual approach and decided to take on the role of Mary, a medical student who becomes increasingly obsessed with the world of underground surgery. The film was shot in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, which provided a unique backdrop for the film's dark and twisted narrative. The Soska sisters, who were both directors and co-writers, brought a sense of authenticity to the film's portrayal of the body modification community. Many of the film's patients were portrayed by real-life members of the body modification community, adding an air of realism to the film's already unsettling scenes. The script for American Mary was written while the Soskas were trying to sell their previous film, Dead Hooker in a Trunk. The experience was a difficult one, filled with encounters with sleazy industry professionals who seemed reputable at first but turned out to be anything but. This experience is mirrored by the film's portrayal of Mary's journey through the underground surgery community, where she encounters characters who seem initially legitimate but ultimately prove to be sinister. Katharine Isabelle's performance as Mary is a standout aspect of the film. She brings a sense of vulnerability and determination to the character, making her descent into madness all the more believable. The Soska's direction is also noteworthy, as they skillfully balance the film's darker moments with moments of tenderness and intimacy. The making of American Mary was a true collaboration between the cast and crew, with everyone involved bringing their own unique perspective to the project. The result is a film that is both unsettling and thought-provoking, challenging viewers to confront their own fears and biases about the human body. One of the primary themes of American Mary is the blurring of lines between medical practice and extreme body modification. The film's protagonist, Mary Mason, is a medical student who becomes disillusioned with the traditional medical profession and begins to explore the world of underground body modification. She becomes fascinated with the art of surgery and the ability to transform and alter the human body. As she delves deeper into this world, she begins to blur the lines between medical practice and extreme body modification, leading to a series of events that are both fascinating and disturbing. The film's use of body modification as a means of exploring the theme of medical practice is a commentary on the way society views and treats the human body. The film suggests that the human body is a canvas, waiting to be transformed and altered through surgery and other forms of modification. This theme is reinforced by the character of Beatrice, a patient who has undergone extensive surgery to transform her body into a grotesque, almost alien-like creature. Beatrice's transformation is a commentary on the way that society views and treats those that are perceived as different or other. The film's exploration of female identity and empowerment is also a significant theme. Mary Mason is a complex and multifaceted character who embodies both traditional femininity and a desire for independence and autonomy. As she becomes more involved in the world of underground body modification, she begins to challenge traditional gender norms and expectations. The film suggests that women have the power to shape their own bodies and identities, and that this power is both empowering and terrifying. One of the most striking aspects of American Mary is its use of Ave Maria throughout the movie. The song is played during key moments in the film. The use of Ave Maria is a commentary on the relationship between spirituality and bodily transformation. The song's haunting melody and lyrics suggest that there is a connection between the spiritual and physical realms, and that bodily transformation can be a means of transcending one's physical form. The use of Ave Maria also highlights the theme of femininity and its relationship to spirituality. The song is often associated with female vocalists and has been used in many films as a symbol of femininity. In American Mary, the use of Ave Maria suggests that femininity is closely tied to spirituality and bodily transformation. The song's use in the film also reinforces the theme of female identity and empowerment, suggesting that women have the power to shape their own bodies and identities. The film's use of Ave Maria also adds to its sense of atmosphere and tension. The song's haunting melody creates a sense of unease and discomfort, which is heightened by the graphic nature of the film's surgical sequences. The use of Ave Maria also adds to the sense of irony that pervades the film, as it suggests that even in moments of great bodily transformation, there is a connection to something greater than oneself. From its opening scene, American Mary is a film that refuses to shy away from the grotesque and the disturbing. The movie's depiction of surgical procedures is graphic and unflinching, but is also oddly mesmerizing. The film's use of practical effects and makeup creates a sense of realism that is both captivating and unsettling. But American Mary is more than just a series of gruesome set pieces. It is a thoughtful and intelligent exploration of themes such as identity, morality, and the human condition. The film's protagonist, Mary, is a complex and nuanced character who is driven by a desire to understand and manipulate the human body. As she becomes more and more entrenched in the world of underground surgery, Mary begins to lose sight of her own identity and values. The film's use of body horror is not just a means of shocking or disturbing the audience, but rather a way of exploring the darker aspects of human nature. The movie's depiction of surgical procedures is not just a display of gore and violence, but rather a commentary on the ways in which humans have always sought to control and manipulate their bodies. In this sense, American Mary is a film that is deeply connected to the history of body horror. From its early days in the 1950s and 60s, body horror has been a subgenre that has pushed the boundaries of what is acceptable and what is not. Filmmakers such as David Cronenberg and David Lynch have used body horror as a means of exploring themes such as identity, morality, and the human condition. American Mary is a film that is both important and influential. It is a movie that pushes the boundaries of what is acceptable and what is not, but it also does so in a way that is thoughtful and intelligent. The film's use of body horror as a means of exploring themes such as identity, morality, and the human condition is both captivating and unsettling. American Mary's legacy is multifaceted. On one hand, the film's exploration of themes such as identity, consent, and the commodification of the human body sparked a renewed interest in body horror as a genre. The film's graphic and unsettling visuals, which often pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable in mainstream horror, inspired a new wave of filmmakers to experiment with the genre. On the other hand, American Mary's influence can be seen in the broader cultural landscape. The film's exploration of themes such as gender performance and non-normative bodies helped to pave the way for more diverse and inclusive representations of marginalized communities in horror. The film's use of body horror as a metaphor for societal expectations and constraints also resonated with audiences who were seeking to challenge traditional notions of beauty and identity. In the years since its release, American Mary has become a cult classic, inspiring countless fans to create their own fan art, cosplay, and fiction. The film's influence can be seen in everything from music videos to short films to feature-length horror movies. Moreover, the Twisted Twins' unique visual style and approach to storytelling have inspired a new generation of horror filmmakers to take risks and push boundaries in their own work. The film features a mix of graphic and unsettling visuals, including surgical procedures that blur the lines between medical practice and extreme body modification. The film's exploration of themes such as identity, autonomy, and the commodification of the human body adds depth and complexity to the genre. The film's use of practical effects and transgressive themes also influenced other horror makers. The film's impact on the horror genre is significant, marking a shift towards more transgressive and challenging horror films. The film's success can be seen in many subsequent horror films, including those that explore themes of identity, consent, and the commodification of the human body. The film's influence can also be seen in broader cultural landscape, helping to pave the way for more diverse and inclusive representation of marginalized communities in horror. Overall, American Mary is a thought-provoking and unsettling film that challenges viewers to confront their own moral boundaries. The film's use of body modification as a means of exploring these themes is both fascinating and disturbing, making it a must-see film for fans of horror cinema. Thanks for joining me on this descent into madness as we explored the twisted world of 2012's American Mary. The psychological thriller left us questioning the blurred lines between reality and fantasy and the true horrors that can lurk in the darkest corner of our own minds. As we bid farewell to the eerie atmosphere of American Mary, we're already looking forward to next week's terrifying tale. Join us on Celluloid Asylum as we dive into the supernatural realm of 2001's 13 Ghosts, where a family's descent into madness is orchestrated by a malevolent force that will leave you sleeping with the lights on. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next installment of our horror analysis series. And as always, like this video if you dare. Until next time, stay sane, if you can.